Tammy, where's she at?
Tommy?
Hey, Heidi.
Got him at the hotel.
Buddy, how are you?
I'm good.
Valentine's Day?
From the Cub Scout troop.
Oh, how sweet.
They give me a
Hey,
kiss?
good. How are you?
See that?
Wait. I'm too short.
Yes, sir. We're good? Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Happy birthday. Thank you.
Yeah.
His
Did you have a
birthday.
good weekend?
Yes.
Birthday weekend?
Oh.
Now we're even, right? Now we're even.
You know you're getting old when you
Yeah,
get,
yeah,
you
yeah,
get
yeah.
your Medicare card in the mail.
I didn't get mine yet.
I got mine
My
last
birthday,
week.
my birthday
Don
was New Year's
Renaker.
Eve. I didn't get my card. They said they're redoing.
Yeah, I can't read.
She asked me if I could read.
Yeah, I
Is that
wouldn't
right?
have known.
Is that writing?
I wouldn't have known. This is Elaine Martin.
I know he asked me, and I know.
She's the one, the walk, the run, 5K. Why were you at the cook-off?
They had the family all got together. They had a service, I think,
I mean,
for my cousin.
Did anybody show
I
up?
didn't.
You ready?
I didn't go to
Anybody show up?
anything. I heard it was really good, though.
I did. I went.
Yeah, people told me it was very
Nice
good.
haircut. Ew.
About a month ago, I had it.
Well, it's nice. It
He
grew out.
washed his hair. He took a
It grew
shower.
out good. No, my hair, I gotta fix it. Something's wrong with my hair. You ready?
Your hair is really
Call the
white.
roll, please.
Mayor, your hair is really white.
Mayor
Shut up.
Payne,
I'm here.
Vice Mayor Mitchell,
Here.
Councilman Best,
Present.
Councilwoman Zapata,
Here.
Councilman Petrolanda.
Here.
Please stand for invocation. We have Pastor Robertson from Grace Lutheran to help us out here.
Let us pray. Gracious God, creator of this world, we give thanks for the many blessings therein. As we gather this evening, help us to see our way forward, that we might serve all, that we might lead with justice, and that we might create a peaceful place for all to live, for all of us to enjoy. Be in all of our thoughts as we go forward. Help us, lead us, and guide us. Amen.
Please stand up. Heart. Okay, pledge allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic.
For which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You could go now.
Thank you.
Thanks, kid.
Huh? Well, he married my son last Saturday. Him and Katie. If you ever want to go to a nice service, he does a nice wedding service. Really nice. Okay, we have the agenda order business. We don't have any changes tonight. No. Everything's cool. Awards. Anybody want an award? No. We go to open forum. Elaine Martin.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Timing was perfect. I just wanted to take a second to say thank you. We had the 5K race for DIPG on Saturday. Councilwoman or Vice Mayor Mitchell participated. I was out there running, as was Mr. Tom
Yes,
Curtis
Mr.
and Mikey
Curtis.
Gavala.
Tom ran.
Yes.
Yes.
Chat
You
tough.
all right?
Chat tough. Read about it.
But along the course, just so everybody knows, we had signs placed to represent our 22 sponsors, whether that was what we call a presenting sponsor, which is the Optimist Club, because without them filling out the initial piece of paper, we wouldn't have been able to have the 5K. Obviously, the second presenting sponsor is the city, and all of the different sponsors. So we put signs so that everybody along the path could see and appreciate all the businesses that help us. And at this moment, we have raised for Chad Tuff Foundation $8,700.
Fantastic.
Great.
Congratulations.
So the city sign simply said, "Thank you, Mayor Billy Bain and Council, for supporting the fight against DIPG. Special thanks goes to the City Manager's Office, the Miami Springs Police Department, Miami Springs Recreation Team, and Miami Springs Public Works staff for ensuring a safe and successful event," because that's obviously our goal too. We had students positioned everywhere so that nobody ran into a farmer's market vendor, and it was a success. So I just wanted to say thank you tonight
Thank
from
you.
all of us.
Good. Thanks for doing that
Thank
for
you,
us.
Elaine, for
Volunteering
doing
doing
it.
it.
Give you guys this.
Okay, we have Don Reniger.
Thank you, Lane.
Don Redinger, 991 Hunting Lodge Drive. I came here because I have been negligent. After the hurricane, I never came here to recognize the efforts of your Public Works Department, which, in my opinion, exceeded everything that a citizen could ask for. And I believe that the recognition should be acknowledged. At the same time, I have a little problem. That same Public Works Department has been thrown around with contracts that do or not exist. I don't know. This came up today. I will allow the city to resolve the situation. I certainly hope it doesn't resolve negatively. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. That concludes people wishing to speak. We go to 6A, approval of council minutes.
Motion to
January
approve.
22nd, 2018, regular meeting.
Motion to approve. Second.
Call a vote.
6A.
Vice Mayor Mitchell,
Yes.
Councilman Best,
Aye.
Councilwoman Zapata,
Yes.
Councilman Petrolanda,
Yes.
Mayor Payne.
Yes. Reports from boards. Okay, we go to our 8A, our second reading of an ordinance.
Yes, Mayor and Council, this is an ordinance of the City of Miami Springs, Florida, amending Chapter 150 of the City's Code of Ordinance by amending Section 150.011 utility shed to limit the size of utility sheds on residential properties to 15% of the rear yard area, providing for conflicts, providing for severability, providing for inclusion in the code, and providing for an effective date. No changes between first and second reading, and again, this is just to clean up that little provision in the shed code.
Okay, anybody, this is a public hearing, anybody wish to speak on this item? You didn't have to sign up. Anybody wish to speak on this item? I close the public hearing. I entertain a motion.
Motion to move 8A, Mayor.
Second.
Any further discussion? Call the vote.
Vice Mayor Mitchell,
Yes.
Councilman Best,
Aye.
Councilwoman Zapata,
Yes.
Councilman Petrolanda,
Yes.
Mayor Payne.
Yes. We go on. I'm trying to make the meeting a little longer for you, Tom. We go to second reading of
You
an
mean
ordinance.
so he doesn't leave?
8B.
Mayor and Council, this is an ordinance of the City of Miami Springs, Florida, amended Chapter 150 of the City Code of Ordinance by amending Section 150.030 sign regulations to update the sizing formula for multi-story buildings, providing for implementation, providing for incorporation into the code, providing for severability, providing for complex, and providing for an effective date. Also, no changes between first and second reading, and again, this is simply to address the fact that taller buildings are being erected in the city, or we have some that are existing, and the sign code is being applied uniformly without regard to those multiple stories.
This is a public hearing. Open up to anybody who wishes to speak on this item. Anybody? Okay, I close the public hearing and I'll
Okay.
entertain a motion.
Motion to approve ordinance 8B as read.
I have a question.
You want to second it first?
I'll second it.
Okay. For discussion.
Okay, I wanted to, Dan, to ask you for the sign code,
Yes.
can you explain with the temporary signs? Does this affect temporary signs? I know this is for letter signs on buildings.
Yeah,
But-
these are permanent wall signs.
Right.
I mean,
Does-
effectively, what the city had done previously was allow for a temporary sign in place of a code provision, and that was renewed with a particular building. But this is going to affect. This resolves not only the building that has a temporary sign, but also will address, for example, the Wyndham that's going up, and other buildings that might go along the 36th Street track or the Abraham track.
This will not allow for temporary for banners to be permanent, right?
Yeah, this does not address that.
Okay.
Right. I think that's still up to the city council's
Has
disposition.
there been any change with that as far as how long a banner can, when you get a temporary sign, a banner for a building? Does this,
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Our intention is to actually make more lenient the temporary signs. As I told you the last time, currently you must have a occupational license in order to put up your banner that your business is open. We've had several people come in and want to notify the public prior to their business opening that that business will be coming to gain some support and some recognition of that. So if anything, what we will be proposing is to lengthen the period of time that you can have it and make it more lenient.
lengthen it by, you can start earlier?
That's correct.
Would there be, does it affect how long you, or is there something that says how long you can leave it on?
My intention is probably to do something like a 6-month, like 3 months prior and then 3 months.
But what Chris is talking about is going forward, we're going to be bringing back to you a sign code update, separate and apart from this one. Because this issue was languishing from that variance that was granted.
Okay.
So coming forward, we'll be bringing back an update that will address a number of issues. But this one specifically addresses the permanent wall signs.
Yeah, the next code will lengthen it. It won't just make it prior. It'll make it prior and after some period of time. We've not really fully fleshed that out yet, but it would be a longer period of time and more lenient for people. And we've also will move the other type of temporary signage, of course, is window signage, which technically speaking you now require a permit for. I don't think I've ever seen anybody come in for a permit for one, but we will make that a non-permitted sign.
Okay, and when you address the other signing issues, could you include, please, and I know I've spoken to the city manager about this, we have buildings, in particular one right here by Westward Drive over the Greek restaurant and the dance studio and all, where the sign has been there for physiotherapy, I think, or something. It hasn't been there for 10 years, the business, yet we still have signs there. I think it really makes our city unattractive, and it makes it so we need to make sure that there's a reasonable of 2 months or something that someone has to remove the sign from their building if the business is no longer there.
Most codes have a provision like that. I was surprised when Code of Compliance talked to me about the issue. I was sure that I would find that standard provision. You are correct, it is not there. We will put it in there, definitely.
Thank you.
That's a good point, Maria.
Okay, I got a first and second. Call the vote.
Vice Mayor Mitchell,
Yes.
Councilman Best,
Hi.
Councilman Zapata,
Yes.
Councilman Petrolanda.
Yes.
Mayor Bain.
Yes, we go to A, 9A.
This is a consent agenda. All of these items are funded and are budgeted. 9A, a resolution of the Mayor and City Council of the City of Miami Springs, Florida, approving the issuance of a work order to Ovas and Company, LLC, for milling, paving, and striping, providing for authorization, providing for implementation, and providing for an effective date. This is an amount not to exceed $12,116, and these are from CITT funds. 9B, a resolution of the Mayor and City Council of the City of Miami Springs, Florida, approving the issuance of an additional work order to Sullivan Electric and Pump, Inc. for an emergency repairs to the Eastwell irrigation pump at the city's golf course, providing for authorization, providing for implementation, and providing for an effective date. And this one is an amount not to exceed, I believe it's $16,000. 9C, recommendation by Public Works, requesting council to approve an increase to the open purchase order 180232 in the amount of $50,000 to Distributors, Inc. for the tree trimming throughout the city. Council approved $100,000 on October 23rd, 2017, as funds were approved in the fiscal year 2017-18 budget, pursuant to Section 3111E5 of the City Code.
Entertain a motion for the consent agenda.
Through the chair, motion to move items 9A, B, and C, which is the consent agenda.
I would like to pull C and discuss it separately.
Excuse me?
Can we pull C and discuss it separately?
I'll withdraw my motion and motion for A and B to be moved.
I second that.
Call the vote for that, please.
Vice Mayor Mitchell,
Yes.
Councilman Best,
Hi.
Councilman Zapata,
Yes.
Councilman Petrolanda.
Yes.
Mayor Bain.
Yes. Okay, we're going to conversation on C.
Based on, we had Mr. Redinger, I'm not sure what, does it have, and he was talking about, he brought up some issue with concern with Public Works contracts. Does anyone?
I believe,
can
I
invite us?
believe,
I don't want to approve something that.
I believe what Mr. Redinger was talking about was work that was done by the golf course maintenance department, not by Public Works, right, Tom? So we're going to check tomorrow and see what work they were doing out there.
Okay, then I'd like to delay this till then, till we know what he's talking about, because he brought something to us, and I feel uncomfortable voting on something that he's talking about, a Public Works contract, and, no.
One that has nothing to do with
This
it.
is citywide tree trimming. It has nothing to do with the golf course. They have their own budget for.
But are you sure that his issue is with the golf course? Because he didn't say golf course.
He's telling you it is.
Yeah, it's behind.
Yeah, because
Come on up.
his property backs up to the
He's
golf
not there.
course.
No, Tom's here.
No, but Mr. Redinger's not there, the one who brought it up.
But Tom's works for us and is telling you that it has nothing to do with this issue.
Councilman Mitchell, through the
Sure.
chair, if I might try to help here. I believe what he is concerned with is behind his house, which borders golf course property, and not anything to do with what this motion is. And if you're satisfied with that, Councilwoman or Vice Mayor, rather,
Spoken with him, Tom, about the issue. Okay, and it's not this. All right.
I'd like to reintroduce item 9C.
Do you have a second?
I second.
Any further discussion? Call the vote.
Vice Mayor Mitchell,
Yes.
Councilman Best,
Aye.
Councilman Zapata,
Yes.
Councilman Pedro Nanda,
Yes.
Mayor Bay.
Yes. We go to, there's no old business. We go 11A, a resolution.
This is a resolution of the Mayor and City Council of the City of Miami Springs, Florida, approving a purchase and installation contract with the Verdant Company for a street clock to be installed in honor of Mayor John Cavalier Jr., waiving competitive bidding requirements, providing for authorization, providing for implementation, and providing for an effective date. As you know, at a prior meeting, you had approved the Verdant clock, and we told you we will come back with a contract, which is in your packet. And during that time, we all know that the Dunn family graciously donated $30,000 towards the clock and the installation. So this will not cost the city taxpayers anything. Thank you to Betty Dunn and her family.
Incredible.
It's wonderful.
Appreciate it.
So gracious.
Motion to approve 11A.
Motion to approve 11A is read.
I second it.
Call the vote.
Vice Mayor Mitchell,
Yes.
Councilman Best,
Aye.
Councilwoman Zapata,
Yes.
Councilman Pedro Nanda,
Yes.
Mayor Bay.
Yes. 11B, a resolution.
11B is a resolution of the Mayor and City Council of the City of Miami Springs, Florida, approving the lease purchase of a Ford 2018 E350 passenger shuttle bus for the Recreation Department in an amount not to exceed $67,135.84, selecting proposal from City National Capital Finance Incorporated for shuttle bus financing, providing for sale of replaced vehicles, providing for execution, providing for authorization, and providing for implementation and providing for an effective date. You'll remember during the budget process, Omar had requested a bus, and what was approved in the budget was leasing it, and the amount that you budgeted was $12,000 for the first year lease payments, and it turns out that we'll probably be using about $8,400 of that for the remaining period until September 30th.
A motion?
Motion to move 11B as read.
I'll second it.
Further discussion? Call the vote.
Vice Mayor Mitchell,
Yes.
Councilman Best,
Aye.
Councilman Zapata,
Yes.
Councilman Pedro Nanda,
Yes.
Mayor Bay.
Yes. We go to 11A. I would like you to read the
This is a memo
12A.
from Erica Gonzalez Santamaria, City Clerk, through the mayors. In the quest for recognizing contributions by individuals that benefit the community, I am requesting that Council consider Miami Springs resident and community servant, the late Bob Calvert. He was born and raised in Miami Springs and was very passionate about the city. He had served the community and the country in many capacities, including 6 years of service in the United States Marine Corps and 31 years of employment as a Miami-Dade firefighter. He has been recognized for his dedication in coordinating and hosting the city's Independence Day Parade, contributing to the success of the city's 70th anniversary, and organizing the 9/11 tribute. In addition, Mr. Calvert has previously served on the city's Code Review Board, Ad Hoc Tree Committee, Master Land Use Planning Committee, appointed in 1996, Architectural Review Board, appointed in 2009, and was appointed in 2013 as a board member to the Board of Adjustment. I am requesting that council consider placing Mr. Bob Calvert's name on the memorial located near the circle on Curtis Parkway.
This was a memorial that I put in play, I don't remember what year it was, Mayor, but we have, there's 4 names on there now. I think Jack Godin, who served on the boards for many years, and Mr. Fausto, and I think that normally this would go through the Memorial Committee and then come up to us, but we've done it in the past where I think Mr. Calvert warrants to be put on that plaque, and council can oversee that, and I'm requesting if you would all agree to me to put his name on that memorial, and maybe we can coordinate it with the River Cities when all the people are down, and we can put the name on it. So that's what I'm requesting.
You know, when I first read this thing, I thought you were talking about the war memorial, and I thought to myself, I said, Bob would never want that.
No, no.
But now I know what you I understand what you're saying, and in reverence of his name, I motion that we move this.
I second that.
Further discussion?
Yes. I don't know. I feel like you can go ahead and do what you're requesting, but I think we should do a little bit more for Bob. I mean, he's.
Well, you know, that's something that you're going to have to go ahead and.
We talked to Rhonda.
Or bring it up to the council, but the bottom line is, this is what that memorial was set up to be, was to be for people that donated many years of public service to the boards, and be recognized for all of the decisions, and it's a volunteer situation.
Exactly right.
For all the things they did throughout the thing. I think Erica looked back, it actually says 96 here, but it goes back to 91. So you're talking 91 all the way through. The biggest shame of it is I think that I made a mistake by making it a memorial so that we keep honoring these people when they pass. I would almost like to think there's 2 or 3 people that are on boards right now that deserve to be on that plaque right now. But I feel like maybe we consider it not a memorial, but it could be a living memorial, a tribute. Instead of doing this when they're gone, their families and everything could see them while they're alive. It even goes back to Mr. Cavalier. If we were thinking, we should have honored him a lot longer than when he goes away. But so I got a first and a second.
You have it, sir.
I think it's a lovely idea.
And can I call the vote?
You can.
Vice Mayor Mitchell?
Yes.
Councilman Best?
Aye.
Councilwoman Zapata?
Yes.
Councilman Petronas?
Yes.
Mayor Ben?
Yes. Maybe next agenda we can consider that memorial and what would you attribute instead of a.
Why don't we request that Erica put that on the thing right now? So it's
For
there.
next
Yeah.
meeting.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Maybe we can
Look into
what
possibilities
kind of
what kind of terms.
terms we can use for that, so that they don't have to be gone. If we can get that decision made, maybe we can have the couple names all proposed, and maybe we can have them for the River Cities and have a real nice ceremony at one time.
Well, you know, Mayor, we have of course, we have the one in the rec center, also the Hall of Fame or whatever.
Yeah, but that's different.
That's different.
That's different.
It's different.
And that one I made it where you could be alive.
I know. That's why I'm bringing it up, sir.
Yeah, but that one I made could be alive. I wish that somebody would. I wish we tried to do that. We tried to do that award during River Cities weekend too, but I don't seem to have anybody bringing up anybody's names for this year. It might be the first year since we've done it that we'll have somebody to put in there.
Well, we have some time, like you just suggested.
Well, hopefully somebody will come through for us. I appreciate it. Thank you. And I know
Yes, sir.
Bob and his family is going to really enjoy that. Okay, we go to 12B.
12B, this is a request by Mr. Tom Curtis to discuss the following River City Festival's issues. Number 1, selling alcohol via a nonprofit permit at the April 13, 15, 2018 event. Number 2, circuit closing time for the 2018 River Cities Festival. And number 3, authority for festival committee to control the gazebo circle area and all the streets within the bounds of the festival. You have an email that Mr. Curtis sent me, and he's here to, I guess, discuss your request, Tom.
I have a question. Can you clarify what you mean by the gazebo? I don't understand what you want to do. What is it that you can't do before that you will be able to do now when we do this?
Nothing. In that issue, I just want clarified because, you know, so the chief is here, and you know, so through the police department, we don't have problems. Sometimes we have problems that people just try to set up on the street or have mobile vendors or do things in the street, and you know, we just want to be able to control what goes on in the streets, and if they're taking space in the streets, then they should be paying to be a part of the festival, just like all of the other vendors that are there.
Does that happen? Has it happened?
It's happened. It's happened. I don't want to make examples of anybody, but
No.
it has happened. And you know, I've let it go at certain times, but I think I just want, you know, I think it should be clear that the festival
Sure.
has the authority over the streets during this time. So before I go into any of these things, I want you all to know also, you know, Bob Calvert also bailed out the festival and was the festival chairman for I believe at least 3 years when it was pending. So you know, it's very worthwhile that Bob Calvert. It'd be a wonderful thing if part of the opening ceremonies we could you know, announce that or do that memorial to Bob. I think that would be a wonderful thing.
Well, that means that you have to coordinate that with the city, and we'll do it. That's
Okay.
my whole.
Let's
This
do
is
it.
my whole premise of doing this is
Right.
as and plus all the people from out of
Well-
town that were here. So it's something.
Is it a plaque or is it something that goes on
It's the
there?
memorial that's right on the.
No,
curb.
I know where it is, but
Yeah,
I'm saying if we need something.
There'll
you
be
know,
a plaque for
Yeah,
you.
we'll get-
Yeah,
uncover it.
we can do it at the main stage and make an announcement and
absolutely.
say it'll be placed.
Sure.
So I think that's
Cool.
very worthwhile. And he, as I said, you know, he was a big part of the River Cities Festival too for many years.
Big part
so.
of Miami Springs.
Yep.
Yeah.
As far as these other issues, you know, the Hialeah Miami Springs Rotary Club is the nonprofit that we get the alcohol. That's just the normal normal approval by the city that is required. Circle closing. You know, we you know, this is the biggest event of the year in Miami Springs, and you know, the setup is very complicated, takes a lot of time. The longer we can have the circle closed, the better off it is. Last year it was at noon. It was pushed to 2 o'clock. This past year, you know, I would like it to go back or closer to noon if we could. I mean, I'll live with whatever you guys say, but the you know, I mean, everybody knows the festival's coming that weekend. So, you know, I think it's kind of you know, for a few businesses for their lunch to try to push, you know, push the closing of the circle back. I mean, you know, we need the circle closed as soon as we can. We have, you know, we have the game guys that have to get their all their equipment inspected, and we have other issues in setup. So,
What are you requesting, Tom?
well, I would request to go back to noon, but I would be happy with 1 o'clock. I mean,
I'd like
you
to
know,
make a
two-
motion that we close the circle at 1.
Second it. I think that's reasonable. Is it possible to partially close the circle, or?
Well,
so
we do
that-
partially close the circle.
So it's
You know,
still-
the inside lane of the circle closes at 10 o'clock in the morning, and the bridge closes. You know, the incoming bridge closes, but you know, there's still traffic going all around until we officially close the circle. So
Which that's what you're requesting is the official
the
closing.
official closing, yes, of the circle. And I'd be happy with 1 o'clock, and I know there are a lot of people that would be happy with that. So.
Do you have any input for that as far as talking to the people around the circle before we make this decision tonight? How did we go about it last year? Because
I think last
was
year
a-
we closed at 2.
At
At
2,
2, right?
We did.
Right.
but we had good pushback from the businesses around there when we had it closing at 12.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, because it's right in the middle, like Tom said, of their lunch hour.
Right. You need a decision now? Can we wait till the next meeting to make that decision, 1 o'clock? But if the council wants to vote on it tonight, it's fine with me. But
You know, we put out material, and we put out you know, documentation to the vendors and things like that. So I prefer to have it done, you know, tonight, and we'll live with
See,
whatever.
yeah, because you know you don't have to hear the people or the business owners calling you about
Oh,
closing.
I
their
hear,
door.
I
You
do.
understand that.
Yeah, I do get to hear it.
And
Yeah,
some of them
trust me on
haven't
that.
sat, some of them haven't sat up here yet to understand that.
I hear 'em.
Because it's their livelihood.
I
But
hear 'em.
I hear it more as an official because we have to call.
Right. You know, like I said, it is a one weekend of the year, and it's a major event in Miami Springs, and you know, it makes the city look better if we're set up at 5:30 when we're ready to go instead of hustling to get things ready.
Well, and I think in our big issue in the city tends to be the rush hour, you know, after 3:30 or 5, which anything that you can do to start getting things moving before that, get people there to start setting up before that, I think helps. Ultimately, then the circles close down in the after, you know, during rush hour.
We've
So-
gotten to the position where we're able to get some things done on Thursday, you know, with some tents and you know, get the stage in there, and so you know, we do utilize earlier hours, but officially getting that circle down really helps everybody.
You got a motion for 1 o'clock. First and a
You
second.
got a second too, Bill.
Okay, call the vote.
Vice Mayor Mitchell?
Yes.
Councilman Best?
Aye.
Councilwoman Zapata?
Yes.
Councilman Petrolano?
Yes.
Mayor Payne?
No. Okay, that's it.
No.
That's
here.
all you need?
No, you have two others.
Well,
the
the
liquor-
request for the
the liquor-
nonprofit alcohol. I mean,
Okay.
Yeah.
Wasn't
Motion to allow the sale of alcohol, I guess.
I'll second that.
Okay.
Is there another one we're voting on?
Yes.
We're gonna give him can we make it one?
Yeah. Let's make it.
No, I want
That's-
to talk about the other one, so if
Okay.
we can split them up.
Okay.
Okay.
I got a first and second, call the vote.
Vice Mayor Mitchell?
Yes.
Councilman Best?
Aye.
Councilwoman Zapata?
Yes.
Councilman Petrolano?
Yes.
Mayor Payne?
Yes.
Tom,
And the
the-
other motion is for the other one is gonna be talking about control of the streets.
The issue I have with voting on that one is there's two sides to every story, and you're standing here telling us your story, but you don't want to tell us exactly what's going on. So I have a problem voting unless I hear the other side on this one issue about what you discussed about the gazebo and all those things. So
you know, so let me make an example, okay? A business on the Circle. You know, they can open their business and they can do something on the sidewalk in front of their business, but if they come out into the street and set up a tent and sell coconuts with alcohol in them, you know, we have to be able to go to them and you know, the police need to do it, but you know, with the authority that you guys are giving, then there'll be no problem, because the police will know that if I say, or someone on the committee, you know, Lynn or somebody, Dick Bergen, who we all know is hurting right now, but you know, if the official committee members get into a confrontation, or you know, we have the authority to control those areas. I think that's important. I don't know how you know, I said it how I thought it should be said, but you know, I don't know if there's really anything you can vote on in that issue. I just think it's by consensus or through the police department that everybody knows that.
The thing is that I think a lot of these businesses, it is one time a year, and it's their opportunity to also, you know, promote themselves, and you know, put some chairs outside that they normally don't, and get people to pop into their business just with walk through traffic, which we don't have a lot of. So maybe if you could give us a little more information as to how, because I don't want the police being called on these business owners just because they're trying to sell, you know, empanadas in front of their business, and they've stepped 2 steps over.
You know,
So
if
if you
a
could provide a
business-
little more, you know, for maybe next meeting of how it would be handled.
Well, if a business wants to be a part of the festival and sell their own product, and then they go out into the street, they should still pay something to be a sponsor or to be a part of the festival.
you're saying they can do it on the sidewalk, though? That's
Sure.
what you said.
Yes.
But you
Yes.
can't put a tent up.
No, you can't
the
put a
street.
tent up without, you know, being a part of the festival.
Do we have guidelines that we provide the businesses so that they know what the city
I think that's what he's
allows?
asking for now.
What you're asking for is to enforce that they can't do things, but not necessarily are we going to provide
Right,
them
well,
with
No, I think what he's asking for, I think in prior years, what has happened is that business owners will set up tents on the street, and he has asked, I guess, police to and police says they have told you that they can't take action on that, correct?
Yeah, or I've just let it go. I mean, you know, I've let it go in certain instances, but I don't think it's fair. It's not fair to the vendors, and it's not fair to, you know, the business owner should come to me, or you know, and address that they want to be a part of the festival and participate. You know, they're going to make more money. They're going to do more with their product, and we'll help them in any way that they want to do it. Like,
Don't you? You rent these by spaces along the street. Are you completely sold out, or are there sections of the streets that are still vacant?
No, we're not sold out at this point. In parts of it we don't utilize at this. You know, there are parts that we don't utilize, and if a business wanted to be a part of the festival, then you know we would work out an agreement with them.
But not for them to just unilaterally.
Right.
No, exactly.
Assume a
Put up a tent.
space.
Yeah,
Right.
put
But
up
I
a
guess
tent.
that's what this is kind of vague, because I agree with you. If other businesses are paying to be part of the pep festival and setting up a tent, I think it's reasonable. But what's here is just, it's very vague. It says authority for the festival committee to control gazebo and circle area and all streets. Maybe we need to clarify that what we're saying is not set up tents
Right,
without,
yes.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that, because if not, it's
I was
going to
going to
be,
clarify during the motion.
okay.
Because we're not
Yeah.
giving up our police powers to.
I'm not sure that, you know, like I said a few minutes ago, I'm not sure a motion or an official stance is actually needed. I just think, I just wanted to get you know, an opinion or a consensus. I don't think a motion is needed
Mayor,
myself.
if I might, I mean, I certainly understand what Tom is saying, and I understand what the council is saying. But then again, I too have heard it from the business owners. I mean, effectively, what the city is doing is giving Tom use of city right of way. And Tom, I mean the festival, and the festival is at this point the one arranging the vendors in that right of way, and certainly they have insurance and they're going through all the process. And I think the business owners are saying, well, it's my storefront, I'm just going to open up. To their point is that they have sidewalk that might pertain to their operation, but the right of way is in our jurisdiction, and we've said that the festival can occupy it in however they choose to occupy it. So I think that perhaps what we can do is just sit down, William, Tammy, you, me, and the chief, and Heidi, and just crank some out, a policy that honestly for a long time has just gone unwritten, and then we'll bring it back to you and make sure everyone's on the same page.
Yeah.
Through the chair, this is not going to hurt you in any way if we stay this thing.
No, I think that's a great, I think
and come
Dan's
and-
got
yeah.
the exact solution that I'm looking for. You know,
Okay.
guidelines. So
And
I think
ideally,
that's.
you could provide those to the businesses ahead of time so that they know ahead of time, you know, if they plan to get a tent, to go through you and
Right,
get
right.
one.
It's kind of a little late for this year, but, you know, I mean,
I just want you to be careful to have the consideration
Absolutely.
that the business owners are giving up. You know, we're talking about, and you have the right of way, but I think this is good that you come up with a legitimate policy.
Mhm.
But let's make it clear that I understand that it's your right of way, but the business owners are giving up a couple days of
Absolutely.
of
But-
things.
but
So I don't want to be so restrictive that they feel like
Hey,
I want them to feel part of it. That's what
I
I want
agree.
to try to do.
If Starbucks came to me and said, we want to have our area in front of, on the street, and we
Wouldn't have
want
a
to
problem with that.
participate and buy a vendor space, we'll make,
Maybe their vendor space should be half price because they are part of the business of Miami Springs. What I'm trying, I mean, this is
No,
something
I
you work out.
understand.
You understand?
Yeah, I do understand.
Okay.
And I will be very
I think that
conscious of that.
we have very competent people to come up with a good answer
Okay.
for us to vote on. Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Tom.
We have anything from the city attorney? Not much, right?
Right. Mayor and council, I'd like to take the opportunity, as per statute, to announce the need for 2 shade sessions. That is two privately held sessions with the city council to discuss 2 pending litigation matters, both having to do with annexation. One is a variety of business owners versus city. The second one is a resident, Anna M. Gonzalez, versus City of Miami Springs. Even though they both have to do with annexation, I'd like to announce them separately so that in case one gets resolved, the record stays secured. And just for clarification for everybody at home, these shade sessions are called in the shade because we have a private meeting, but there is a court reporter present taking minutes. That record is sealed until the end of the litigation, at which point it's made public. But it gives us an opportunity for all of you to talk to your legal team, discuss strategy, and not be prejudiced by having that be at an open meeting. So I'm just announcing it, and then I'll work with the city clerk to get it on everyone's calendar at a mutually agreeable
All right,
time.
we're not going to try to set a date tonight.
I'd rather not, only because I'd have to bring one or two of my litigators, and I don't know
All right.
their availability right now.
But we're going to have these meetings before the next council meeting.
Yes, we'll make them soon.
And are you going to do it in what order are you going to do it in?
I don't know, but we'll notice it and in the
'Cause
notice for the meeting.
I feel that the second one you announced is the first one we should do
The second one I announced.
with the resident Miami Springs.
Honestly, it's either way. If
Okay.
that's the way you want to do it, we can do it like that. I don't see.
I would rather do that one first.
Why don't we, it's clear that the attorney's got something that he's not ready to say yet, so let him make the decision, Mayor, I would suggest.
I'll work with the clerk and get back to all of it.
Or maybe can we do them both at once?
I'd rather not, because
Okay.
if one of them, they can be back to back. They can be back to back. We'll schedule like a half-an-hour block for each one. If one of the cases
right?
happens to
Okay.
settle, there's case law that says that the whole record can be revealed, and I don't want to prejudice one case with the other.
Okay.
Gotcha, okay.
You just let us know. We'll be there.
Absolutely.
Miss City Manager, anything from the managers?
Nothing. You have some. Yeah.
I have some dates. We have the Community Shred Day, Tuesday, February 20th, from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. at the Community Center parking lot.
Can I piggyback off that? Well, you got it fresh in my mind. I've been requested by some residents that if we can have like the shredding, if we could put together something like a getting rid of your paints.
Oh, okay.
You know, have a day.
That would be through Miami-Dade County, because there's a disposal site, and maybe we can
Maybe-
organize something with Public Works to have like a truck or something available, so.
Just throwing out there, maybe to consider it as far as they've been asking me that their people throw their paints in the garbage or in their thing, and maybe we can have it where you don't have to drive somewhere, because it seems like everything you have to drive for Miami Springs for that.
We can't do that.
Something to consider. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Good.
I had that came in my head.
No problem. We have the Water Smart workshop by Miami-Dade Water Department, Wednesday, February 21st at 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. At the Aquatic Multipurpose Room. We have the Rec Camp Out Friday, February 23rd. That's through Saturday, the 24th, starting at 4:30 p.m. At Prince Field. We have the Daddy-Daughter Dance, Saturday the 24th of February from 6 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. at the Miami Springs Country Club. We also have Music at the Mansion, Saturday, February 17th at 7 p.m. at the Curtis Mansion. And Melinda Jester asked me to pass these out to you, and that if you wanted to attend, that you RSVP directly to her. And then if you wanted to bring a +1, that there would be a charge for that, but you know, to make sure that you gave her the information, and it's all on the flyer. In addition to some other dates, we have Congressman Diaz-Balard's office visit for the regular Wednesdays, February 21st from 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. at the City Hall. And then again, we have the monthly visit for the driver's license services, Wednesday, February 21st, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Miami Springs Community Center. That's all I have.
That's all you have?
Yes.
Councilwoman, anything from you tonight?
Well, I just wanted to say that last Thursday when we had the Miami-Dade League of Cities, well, I don't want to take the win from Councilman Petrolandes, but the country club just sparkled. It was just a lovely event, and it was great to be able to showcase our city and our golf course and our Curtis Mansion to elected officials from, I think there were over 60 of them there, you know, to showcase our city to elected officials from all over the county. So that was just wonderful. I want to encourage everyone. I know Tammy mentioned the Water Smart seminar on February 21st. It's very short. He's going to be there a while, but it just takes 5 or 10 minutes to sign up, to log on, and he's going to show, Patrick Martin from Miami-Dade Water and Sewer will show residents how to log on to this great program that lets you monitor your daily water consumption, and will advise you by email immediately if you have a leak, or you set how much water usage you normally use, and if you want to be notified when it exceeds that. It's a great way to learn to conserve water by just monitoring your own use in our community. And the big thing on this is we are the only city, the only municipality in all of Dade County that have this ability right now, because we are the only ones with these digital monitors. So it's a really unique opportunity for us to be leaders in this program. The other thing I wanted to mention is I'm really looking forward that we're doing so many things, the rec camp out and the music at the mansion, all these things going on in Miami Springs, so that's just wonderful. And that's all I have. Thank you.
I really don't have anything.
Anything from you, sir?
Yeah, I want to echo, follow up on what the Vice Mayor said. We had a great time on Thursday. I want to thank Richard Cooper for bringing it out to us. Hopefully we'll do it again very soon. I want to thank everybody that showed up. Also had a great time on Saturday at the barbecue. Great food, great weather, lot of good friends. And that's it, Mayor. Thank you.
Councilman Best?
Just a couple things. The first thing that comes to mind, of course, is the passing of Bob Calvert, which I think is something that Bob lived some rough years going forward, and probably one of the most humble people I've ever met in my life. And he's going to be sorely missed. So anything that we can do going forward to recognize him and his name and what he did for this city would certainly I would certainly support. Some of us traveled up, actually several of us traveled up last couple of weeks ago up to Tallahassee. And there was a couple of items on the on the agenda up there that we tried to push among legislators and senators, and that was the funding for the senior center, and also through what Councilman Petrolanda has initiated with the the transportation issue with the CITT and going to Hialeah and over to the airport eventually and trying to put that thing together. I think we met some favorable results in terms of folks that we spoke to up there, and of course at the end of the day it can pass the House, it can pass the Senate. Scott's got to sign it. So anyway, I thought we did well with that.
We did. I think, Mayor, if I want to follow up on what Councilman Best said. I think one of the reasons they're changing the wording on how much the CITT money we could use is, I think one of the reasons is because we went up there. If not, I don't think that would have came up. I know Representative Avila is the one who's sponsoring the new change, so that's going to be good. Also, I want to, on the same subject, we're meeting on the 20th with J.C. Bermudez, Mayor of Doral, and I'm going to bring up that issue and see if they can help us with the funding for the second trolley.
I'm not here.
That's all I have, Mayor.
Just to finish up, and Bill, I'll be short. I think going forward with this particular conference that we do every year, going up there for the Dade Days, and arguably at the Florida League of Cities thing as well. I think preparation is everything for this. I think to put stuff in perspective, have meetings with the manager and staff before we go, and kind of push our thing more than just all over the place kind of thing. I think some of us spoke on this while we were up there. I think this would serve us well going forward. And the other thing is the surrounding communities. You know, a lot of times to get something done in this county, you have to have surrounding communities supporting you, which equates into county commissioners. You know, you get 2 or 3 of those, and you got what, 4 more you need, and you're over the top. We've never done that before.
Well, we did it last year. We met
semi.
Well, we met Representative Keone and Asensia.
That was 2. Well, you and I did.
Yeah, we did.
But
Not
that's
this
different.
year, last year.
But anyway, just going forward, I think that we would be well served to consider that going forward. I'll consult with the clerk going forward on that.
Mayor, if I may, I forgot to mention the 5K, the Chad Tuff 5K on Saturday too, which was a phenomenal event this Saturday morning. And thank you to Tom Curtis, Debbie Curtis, and Elaine Martin for organizing that. It was wonderful to get everyone outdoors and for such a good cause and have a good time.
I will also, Bill, just Mayor, rather.
Yeah, I might can
Just
say
as,
one,
the-
I might can say one thing for me. Are you guys that
No, man, no, no.
stuck on yourselves that you can't give me anything?
Would you wait a
You
Would you
guys
wait a
can't
minute?
give me anything.
I got stepped on twice.
Boy,
I'm
oh
just trying to
boy.
finish.
I can't believe these people.
You get
the
your
only one that has anything is the councilwoman over here.
No, but you get your
At least
turn.
she shares it so that guys can keep blabbing away, blabbing. It's terrible. I'm teasing.
Is it good
Go
stuff?
ahead,
Is it
go
good
ahead.
stuff, though?
Go ahead. You guys go ahead. Go.
I'm done
I'm
with
trying to make the meeting go to 8 o'clock for
Have a
time.
chocolate.
Mayor, come
I
on.
don't eat- I don't eat chocolate. That's really nice. Aren't you going to announce who gave us the candy?
Yes.
The Boy Scouts.
No, it wasn't the Boy
The
Scouts.
Girl
Was it?
Scouts.
It's a Girl Scout.
I'll
The
give you
Girl
that one
Scouts
too,
thing.
Maria. Go ahead.
564
Go ahead. Who gave us the candy?
I don't know.
The last thing I wanted to say before it's your turn is in the history of Miami Springs since 1926, for the first time for days, and I researched this, the city manager and the city clerk joined us going up there. First time ever.
You want to ask them who idea that was?
Well, if it was yours, God bless you. But I don't know. But I would guess that
Make
would
an
be
announcement,
the answer,
so
but
we might as well make them so they're all right.
I just
you
want
know?
to say
it.
it. Monsignor, you got the floor.
Oh, gee whiz.
Wait,
Oh,
Mayor,
this-
Mayor.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Just kidding. Just
Go ahead.
kidding.
Go ahead.
I'm kidding.
Anything from you. This meeting's adjourned.
No, Mayor, hold on.
anything after made.
You didn't say anything.
I know.
And then to say, you said everything.
All dressed up and nowhere to go. But seriously, I do have one more thing.
You already ended
What, can he ungavel that?
Wait,
Yeah,
he-
that
I reopened the meeting.
That was a pretend
William.
adjournment. No, but in all seriousness, one thing I forgot to say is that the new litigation, like the last one, it probably will not be covered by the League of Cities insurance coverage because it's not asking for monetary damages. So we actually need formal authorization to proceed forward in representation. We're going to try and get it resolved quickly as possible, but I just need consensus from council.
From now, right now?
Yeah.
Do we have consensus to pursue it and give him the
We have a choice?
opportunity to just defend us?
We can go find other lawyers. It's fine.
Okay. All right.
I guess we don't have a choice then.
Come on, everybody say, give me a yes.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
And then
A yes.
we'll strategize at the shade session.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, everybody go home.
Go, you.
You guys didn't save anything for me, not one thing.
You know what I want a bed.
I'm kidding, but not really.
Not one thing. I mean,
It's on our website. I can get it. I can have.